Interesting to note, there is a little bit of a gap in here between the hatchery and the rocks, so you can get quite a few units in taking out the rocks, but of course we know Zerglings don't attack destructible rocks fairly well. And we do see Strelok is pushing out with a bunch of Marines. Maybe he thought that Haypro was going to either tech up or maybe macro up and expand a little bit more, but he is going to be ready with all of these Zerglings to get a surround here. So flanking with one side on the Queens and one side is going to be the Zerglings. Zerglings do get a very good surround, and they are going to be able to take out these Marines fairly easily. One SCV just sitting here waiting to get plucked off, and he does die out. One Marauder and a few Marines now retreating back to the base. Strelok did destroy the destructible rocks as well in his expansion, so he is getting the high yield minerals as well. A little bit of a counterattack coming in here for Haypro, but he does quickly retreat as he notices that Strelok does have this bunker here, putting up a second one, and quite a few units left as well. So we've got one Zergling here hiding in the bushes. I'm not sure what he can see. We'll have to take a look. So we can see that the high yield minerals are being used, but that actually may be from the overlords. So I'm not sure how much this Zergling is doing here for sight. A couple Marines getting caught out in the middle of the map, and the Zerglings do take it out. No other expansions going up for either player yet. Creep tumors are being plopped down now, and there is a Baneling nest up with centrifugal hooks. Centrifugal hooks, yeah, that's what they want to call it. About 60% of the way done now. And we are seeing a bunch of Banelings being morphed in. Now that he sees that Strelok was using a ton of Marines, he figured that would be a great strategy to go with. And it looks like Strelok, though, is going to be transitioning more into Marauders, tanks, and medevacs. And it looks like he's loading up 8 Marines into this medevac. And once again, my mouse just died. Hold on one second. Alright, and it seems to be somewhat back, so hopefully my mouse stops being crazy. And it looks like Strelok is just trying to put up a little bit of a maze here for the Zerglings to maybe have to get around. This is actually a very good idea if your opponent is going for a lot of Banelings or Zerglings, as it will force them to funnel into the gaps and allow less of a surround to happen on your units. And now actually, because of my mouse problem, I did miss Strelok dropping off these 8 Marines. They did kill off quite a few. Oh, wow. Nice job there. Actually, I don't know what that Baneling blew up on, but all these Marines are still alive, and it looks like he's just suiciding one Marine at a time to these Banelings to try to kill them off as fast as possible. But he did get quite a few drone kills, and it did halt mineral gathering for quite a while, and actually gas too. But he does have both these gas geysers fully saturated now as well. These Banelings with centrifugal hooks, when they are on creep, they moved so fast. And I'm not sure what Haypro is doing here, but it looks like another drop, all the same dropships coming back with these 7 Marines now, and they are going to take out a few more units. A couple Zerglings here to defend, but he's being forced to pull back all of his Zerglings and his Banelings, and now he is taking his 3rd base, which is now getting harassed as well with a group of Marines as well. And he wasn't paying attention to those, as he was paying attention up here, and they all did get taken out by those Banelings. Of course, one Baneling can take out a ton of Marines, but he did lose quite a few Banelings at that point. So now, transitioning into Hydras, of course, getting the grooved spines, the range upgrade for the Hydralisks. And if we look now at the units lost tab, it looks like Haypro's a little worse off at the moment, but because he does have that extra base, his income is a little bit higher, or at least it should be. Yeah, he's at 57 harvesters to 45. So quite a bit better in this situation, I think. He's got more gas income, and it's about equal for minerals, but of course the Terran mineral income is compensated by all of these mules. These mules, I think, should be probably put on the rich mineral fields, but I guess it would take out those fairly quickly, or deplete them fairly quickly. But anyways, do we have another drop? Yeah, we've got 8 more Marines here in this medevac. Not able to get a drop, as there is 2 Queens here and a bunch of Zerglings guarding it. And going back to the production tab, it looks like he's just continually pumping out Hydralisks and Zerglings. Strelok, on the other hand, is continuing to pump out Marauders and tanks. He's getting a armory up. It looks like maybe Thor's, or maybe he's just going to be upgrading his tank's damage. So we'll have to see what happens now. These tanks are very, very nasty against Hydralisks and Zerglings and even Banelings. And of course, if these Marines are guarded enough by these Marauders and tanks, the Banelings won't be very effective. Now because of the creep highway, he is going to see all this. A scan going down, a bunch of Marauders taking some hits from the Banelings, but it's better than them hitting the Marines, I guess. The Marines are kind of exposed right now, but he is beginning to leapfrog his tanks into Strelok's base, and we're going to have to, into Haypro's base, and we're going to have to wait and see what happens. Spreading his units out a little bit, trying to attack right now just as the siege tanks were sieging, but he did have tanks sieged up in the back, so this push is going to be very effective, I do believe. Medevacs are healing these Marines, which are taking the brunt of the damage, but we've got a flank here from the back. Going to go ahead and back that up and see what happened. And it looks like just a few Banelings and Hydras, but off creep, they move so slow, and these tanks were able to take them out very quickly. But it did distract these tanks and allow these Hydras to take out all of those Marines. So looking now at the Army tab, we are going to see that Haypro is in a clear deficit right now. Strelok is in a commanding lead, starting to push in on the natural, but I don't know if he knows about this base yet. No, he does, or sorry, yeah, he did a drop on that base earlier, so he does know. A couple Zerglings trying to do a little bit of a harassment here on Strelok's third, but he is morphing that into a planetary fortress, so that will not matter. A ton of Hydras here now popping out, and important to note in that latest patch, units that are produced are not on attack move, they are on just direct move, so you need a lot more micro in order to compensate for a high macro. So looks like Haypro does GG out of this game. Strelok is going to take number 2, so it is now 1-1. And I've got a third matchup between these two players on this map coming up for you as well. Stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching.